Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Speaking Flow. If you are joining us for the first time, pull up a chair and make yourself comfortable. This is a podcast where we believe that learning English is not just about memorizing grammar rules. It's about understanding the human being behind the voice.
Hello to our wonderful community from all around the world. Today's episode is very special to us because it touches on a topic that affects nearly half of the population. Yet it is rarely talked about in language schools. If you are someone who prefers a quiet evening with a book over a loud party, if you feel drained after too much social interaction, and if you often feel misunderstood in fast-paced English conversations, then this episode is dedicated entirely to you.
We are talking about learning and speaking English as an introvert. And before we dive in, I just want to set the mood. Imagine this episode as a quiet conversation in a cozy corner of a coffee shop, just the three of us. There is zero pressure here to be loud, fast, or energetic. We are going to take our time.
Absolutely. Let's start by addressing the giant elephant in the room. There is a massive misconception in our society, and especially in the language learning world, that calls the extrovert ideal. Almost every message you receive tells you that to be a good English speaker, you need to be outgoing, bubbly, talkative, and constantly putting yourself out there.
Think about the typical English classroom. Who gets the most attention from the teacher? The student who raises their hand immediately. The student who is happy to shout out answers, even if they are wrong. The student who loves doing role plays in front of the class. The entire system is designed to reward extroverted behavior, speed, volume, and a willingness to perform.
And if you are sitting there as an introvert, observing all of this, what is the message you internalize? You start to believe that something is wrong with you. You think, I'm too slow, I'm too quiet, I'm too boring. I will never be fluent because I don't have that personality. You start to believe that your fundamental nature is a barrier to learning English.
It is heartbreaking because it is completely untrue. But this pressure forces many introverts to wear a mask. They try to fake it. They force themselves to be loud, to interrupt people, to act overly enthusiastic. And you know what happens. They burn out. Learning English becomes an exhausting performance that drains their soul, rather than a joyful journey of connection.
We need to stop this right now. Today, we are here to validate your experience and tell you the truth. Your introversion is not a weakness. It is a different operating system. And in many ways, when it comes to achieving high-level, sophisticated English fluency, your introversion is actually your secret superpower.
Let's dig into the science and psychology of the introverted brain in a language context. The biggest difference between introverts and extroverts is how they process stimulation and how they recharge their energy. Extroverts gain energy from social interaction. Introverts spend energy in social interaction.
When you are speaking a second language, the cognitive load on your brain is massive. You are listening, translating, figuring out grammar, worrying about pronunciation, and reading social cues all at the same time. For an introvert, whose brain is already highly sensitive to stimulation, this is overwhelming. Your social battery doesn't just drain slowly, it crashes.
And when that battery crashes, the brain goes into protective mode. You shut down. You go silent. It's not because you don't know the words. It's not because you are stupid. It's because your brain is screaming for a break from the noise. You need to understand this biological reality so you can stop blaming yourself for freezing up in loud groups.
But here is the flip side. Because introverts are not constantly talking, what are they doing? They are observing. They are listening deeply. Extroverts often listen just enough to know when it's their turn to talk again. Introverts listen to understand.
This deep listening ability is your greatest asset. While the extroverts are busy shouting over each other and making a million mistakes, you are sitting quietly, absorbing the nuance of the language. You are noticing how the native speaker uses a specific idiom. You are hearing the subtle rhythm of their intonation. You are processing the structure of complex sentences deep in your mind. You are a data gathering machine?
This is called deep processing. Introverts tend to think before they speak. In a language learning context, this means you are internally rehearsing and correcting your sentences before they ever leave your mouth. Yes, this makes you slower in rapid-fire conversation. But it also means that when you finally do speak, your English is often much more accurate, thoughtful, and structured than the extrovert who is just blabbing away.
Quality over quantity. That is the introvert's motto. In true communication, nobody cares how many words you speak per minute. They care about the value of what you say. A single, insightful, well-phrased sentence from a quiet person can have much more impact than 10 minutes of noisy, empty chatter.
So, we know you have these strengths, but we also live in a noisy, fast-paced reality. How do you survive and shine in the real world in business meetings, networking events, or social gatherings without betraying your nature? We have developed a practical survival guide for the introverted English speaker.
Strategy number 1: stop competing for airtime in large groups. If you are in a group of 5 or 6 loud people speaking fast English, do not try to jump in and interrupt them. It will feel unnatural and stressful for you. Instead, change the game.
Introverts thrive in one-on-one situations. So, in a large networking event, don't try to work the whole room. Find one person who looks a bit quieter, perhaps standing on the edge of the group. Approach them. Your goal is to turn a shallow group chat into a deep one-on-one connection.
And how do you do that? By using your superpower, asking thoughtful questions and listening deeply. Instead of talking about the weather, ask something slightly deeper. What is the most interesting project you are working on right now? Or how did you end up in this city?
People love to talk about themselves. When you ask a good question, and then truly listen, making eye contact, nodding, giving them your full presence, you become incredibly charismatic. You don't have to say much at all. Your attentive silence makes the other person feel valued. You are shining by letting them shine. That is the quiet power of the introvert.
Strategy number 2 is for business situations. Preparation is your best friend. Introverts often hate being put on the spot and asked to improvise in English. So, don't improvise. If you have a meeting, prepare your thoughts beforehand. Write down the 3 key points you want to make. Script your opening sentence if you need to. Having those notes in front of you will lower your anxiety immensely.
And remember the power of the follow-up. Sometimes in a fast meeting, you just can't get a word in. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up. After the meeting, send a thoughtful email to the participants. Say something like, I've been thinking about what we discussed today, and I wanted to add this point. Often a well-written email shows your competence much better than fighting for attention in a chaotic meeting.
Strategy number 3: master the art of the strategic pause. Introverts hate being rushed. When someone asks you a question, you feel pressure to answer instantly. Don't. Take your power back by taking time.
Learn phrases that buy you thinking time without making you look unsure. Phrases like, that's an interesting point. Let me think about that for a second. Or, I want to give you a thoughtful answer, so give me a moment to process that. By narrating your thought process, you show confidence. You show that you are not silent because you are empty, but because you are deep.
Finally, strategy number 4 involves a mindset shift about what fluency really looks like. We need to redefine fluency for introverts. Fluency does not mean speaking fast, loud, and non-stop.
True fluency is the ability to be comfortably yourself in another language. If your native personality is calm, thoughtful, and a bit quiet, then your fluent English self should also be calm, thoughtful, and a bit quiet. You don't need to perform a character. You just need to translate your authentic self into English words.
There is a tremendous magnetism in someone who is comfortable in their own silence. Someone who doesn't feel the need to fill every gap with noise. When you own your introversion, when you stop apologizing for it, you practice senses of calm confidence that people are drawn to.
The world is loud enough already. We don't need more noise. We need more depth. We need listeners. We need thinkers. We need people who speak with intention. Your perspective, filtered through your thoughtful mind, is valuable. Please do not rob the world of your voice just because it isn't the loudest one in the room.
You can absolutely shine without shouting. You shine through the quality of your ideas, the warmth of your listening, and the sincerity of your connections. Be proud of your quiet nature. It is your greatest strength in mastering this language deeply.
Thank you for spending this quiet time with us today. We know how precious your energy is, and we are honored you shared it with us. If you are an introvert, let us know in the comments. What is the hardest situation for you in English? Is it big parties, business meetings, or small talk? We want to hear your story.
Take care of your beautiful, quiet souls. Recharge your batteries, and remember that you are enough, exactly as you are. Have a peaceful week. Bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone. Speak quietly, think deeply,